Reinstated on Twitter, the satirical news outlet The Babylon Bee was suspended in March for this tweet on your screen. The Babylon Bee's man of the year is Rachel Levine. Levine is transgender and serves as the Assistant Secretary for Health. Again, that's what got him kicked off back in the day. The Babylon Bee's byline on Twitter is fake news you can trust, meaning this was a joke.
It's a satirical site. Right. We know this. But the left was not having any of it, prompting Twitter to ban the account. A week after the suspension, though, text messages revealed Elon Musk's ex-wife telling the billionaire the Babylon Bee suspension is crazy. Or you can buy Twitter and make it radically free speech. Musk responding, maybe buy it and change it to properly support free speech. Seth Dillon is the CEO of the Babylon Bee, and he's with us now. Seth, many argue that your outlet getting suspended prompted Elon Musk to buy Twitter for $44 billion. How do you view it?
Well, I certainly won't take all the credit. You know, he's concerned about free speech, and he has been for some time. But he loves the Bee. He likes our humor, and he certainly doesn't think that we should be suspended for making these jokes that, you know, the left considers it hateful conduct to make a joke that's actually true. You know, referring to a male person as a man, I mean, that's what it means to be a man, is to be a male person. So, you know, the joke was really silly. I think Musk recognized that it was ridiculous that we got banned for that or locked out of our account for that, and wanted to reinstate us. So it's cool that we were a part of it, that's for sure.
I wanted to show this, too, because when reinstating the Babylon Bee, Musk actually wrote this. He said, new Twitter policy is freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. Negative/hate tweets will be max deboosted and demonetized, so no ads or other revenue to Twitter. You won't find the tweet unless you specifically seek it out, which, again, is no different from the rest of the internet. Your thoughts on that and his explanation there? Does that seem fair?
Well, I do think it's problematic, honestly. If you're muted on Twitter, then you may as well not be on Twitter. You know, so this idea, I think really what it comes down to, though, is the problem of how you define hate speech. You know, this stuff that they consider hateful conduct. Musk disagrees with a lot of the people on the left who are enforcing those policies on what constitutes hateful conduct. And that's a good thing, because they were basically using that as a catch-all to just ban and silence people whose opinions they don't like. But still, I do think it's problematic if you're making determinations about what's hateful, what's not, and then muting those people based on their speech. Then they're basically just shouting into a microphone that's turned off and no one can hear them. So they're effectively silenced and suppressed at that point. So I do think a policy like that's problematic.
Yeah, it's funny. I know you guys are now back to brainstorming all the responses. But we hadn't heard from the Babylon Bee account since March 20th. So I was curious, I'm like, what's your guys' first tweet going to be? It was, Twitter is dead, 300 million people post on Twitter. Quickly followed up by Babylon Bee writers struggling to think of joke worth $44 billion. What's it like to be back online?
It's amazing. I mean, you know, we're on other platforms. We've been around. We just haven't been able to tweet. And Twitter is one of the most fun platforms there is. When things really take off there and go viral, it's where a lot of the conversation is happening. So having been sidelined from that conversation was kind of painful for our writers. And so having the chance to get back in there has been a lot of fun, and you know, seeing the response that we're getting and the support that we're getting is pretty awesome too. So I hope Musk continues down this path and continues to unban more silenced voices.
Seth, we'll close with this. I know you've got a lot of followers as well, obviously, as Babylon Bee does. I was monitoring it all weekend, and people are, at least the ones that I've read, they're really enjoying Twitter right now. Why is that? What do you see different that's happening right now?
Twitter is hysterical right now. You have all these people on the platform who are complaining about it and talking about leaving, but they don't actually leave. And then there's people coming back that have been gone for a long time, and people are throwing fits about it and crying about it. There's drama. It's hysterical. There's hypocrisy. It's just like, it's a really fun and alive place at the moment. So I think that's probably what they're talking about, is there's just and user activity is up. There's more people using Twitter right now than ever before. I'm seeing it in my own numbers. My own account is just growing and growing and growing by thousands every day. Yeah. So there's people flocking to Twitter to see what's going on. So Musk is definitely doing something right in that respect.
Yeah, you know, there have been some rumors that Twitter might not exist, right, as we enter December, right? So based on your read and based on some of the, sort of the analytics that you can see behind the scenes, you say that that's not the case?
No, Twitter's thriving. I mean, in terms of revenue generation, is it making as much money as it was? No, because a lot of these advertisers have paused because they're afraid of what Musk is doing to restore free speech on the platform. And by the way, what a ridiculous thing to be afraid of free speech. Why aren't we afraid of the fact that we had these unprecedented, powerful platforms that were engaging in this authoritarian control over what people can and can't say? Why wasn't that dangerous or scary to anyone? The fact that free people are speaking freely is scary. I think that's pretty incredible.
All right, CEO of the Babylon Bees, Seth Dillon, back on Twitter. The Babylon Bees account back on Twitter. Check him out. Always fun. Seth, good to see you. Thanks for taking the time for the viewers today.
Thank you.